2017. Oh, what a time. Back when I looked like this.
Great.
It was an interesting year, especially for Ninjago. In 2015 and 2016, and all the following years until this year, there were 2 seasons in 1 year. One in the winter towards the beginning of the year, and one in the summer. However, in 2017, there was only 1 season released in the usual winter time frame. However, instead of a 2nd season, we got the Lego Ninjago Movie, which had a whole bunch of release dates. The movie premiered at the Regency Village Theater on September 16, 2017. It was released in Denmark on September 21st, 2017, but most importantly for me, it was released on September 22nd, 2017 in North America 5 years later. That's pretty crazy. And even crazier to me is that it's been even longer since it was first announced. The film was officially announced 9 whole years ago on September 13th, 2013. It was just a simple announcement that a film was being worked on with the Hageman brothers as the writers, Charlie Bean as the director, and part of the show's team as producers. Weird to think this was before I even got into Ninjago myself. I remember hearing it would release in September of 2016, and this seems to be the case, but it was also pushed back a year. The delay makes sense as the story of the film changed a few times. One of the original concepts was that the ninja would travel back in time to stop Garmadon from being bitten by the Great Devourer. There's a wonderful deleted scene where Lloyd talks to his dad the night before the battle where he gets bitten. There's also another deleted scene which was more so a test for how they could add photorealistic nature. The jokes here are pretty good, and we see some interesting villains in a bridge which we would see in the final film. And another deleted scene is this one where he saves a baby as he fights. This last one is actually pretty important because the director wanted it to help convince Jackie Chan to do the fighting choreography for the movie. That's right, the legendary Jackie Chan. And he agreed. He found the experience interesting since he and his team would do the choreography and the animators would animate it, which is really cool. Because of that, the fights are awesome and such a highlight of this movie. And another highlight is the animation. It's kind of similar to Lego Movie in the sense that most things are Lego, pieces have scuff marks, and most of the film is animated in a way that looks like any shot could be recreated at home. However, one interesting difference is that unlike the Lego Movie, where everything besides the real world and the sky is made of Lego, nature is all photorealistic. As I said earlier, this deleted scene was a test for that. It's different from the original Lego Movie, but I'm glad they did this because it looks so good. In general, the lighting, cinematography, it makes it feel so unique in the best way possible. Anyways, back on track. On June 27, 2016, the cast was announced, and oh man, this was right around the time I was getting into the Ninjago fan base, so this was also the time of Cryptor and Lego Ninjago fan. Those who don't know, summer 2016, the community was on fire. Today's drama is nothing like it was back then. That stuff has me going.
This is drama?
People were genuinely mad that they weren't using the show's cast as the movie's cast, which is a dumb thing to be upset about. The movie takes place in its own universe, a different cast sets it apart from the TV series. If someone who saw the movie watches the show, they hear that the voices are different and it relates to them that these are different characters who have had different experiences. And the cast wasn't bad. Maybe, I'm not entirely sure because here's the thing. You learn nothing about any of the ninja except for Lloyd. It's understandable, with an hour-and-a-half runtime, you really can only flesh out one character, so you need to do the most important one. But at the same time, this is such a huge disservice to the show. The other ninja are given the most cookie-cutter personalities. Kai is chill, Jay is timid and awkward, Zane is a robot, Cole likes music, Nia is a girl. These are just shallow husks of the characters that we've fallen in love with. 6 ninja is perfect. When you're a kid, you pick one and become invested in them. All the ninja are fleshed out. They all have their own season that focuses on them, and even when a season doesn't focus on them, they can still get significant developments. The show gives us reasons to care about all of the ninja, giving them more complex personalities. If Lloyd is your favorite ninja, you may have no problem with this. But as a big Cole fan, it pains me how Cole is in the movie. He's just there. Ninjago is about ninja. It's about the team. And while this movie kind of is, none of the ninja go beyond their basic personality traits, and it saddens me. The cast is fine and it's not their fault. It's really nobody's fault because it's a movie. It's completely different from the show. But it just proves that Ninjago is so much better as a show. Anyways, yeah, people didn't like the cast. I was open to it, and do I like them? Well, I like Dave Franco. So does the movie's official Twitter account since they wish him a happy birthday for years. But besides that, A short film based on the movie played before Storks, a solid contender for the most forgettable movie of the last decade. It was a fight between Wu and a chicken, showing off some things like lighting, photorealistic nature, and fighting. It was okay. It was definitely cool to see at the time, but there's nothing special about it. Then, on February 8th, 2017, the first trailer dropped, giving us a look at what the ninja will look like in the movie. And we enter another big instance of drama, the redesigns. We were unaware at the time, but these would go on to become the ninja's designs from season 8 onward. It was really weird seeing them at first, but but they've really grown on me. Lloyd is a big improvement. I could do without the eyes, but I don't mind them that much. But the hair is just so much better and helps make him feel older, which is fitting since his voice actor in the show changed with this redesign. I hated Kai's at first. The hairpiece is just way too tall, and the band-aid was cute for the movie, but is annoying for him to keep getting it in sets. However, in the show, they squished his hair down and it looks really good. So much better than his original design, which I didn't mind, but his hair in the show was just so dumb. Cole's is a decent improvement too. I love the headband and man bun, that's fun. But his casual, more messed up long hair, a fantastic piece, I love it. Nia's redesign was the best. Her new hairpiece is leagues better than her old one, and she no longer has that weird grandma face. Jay's okay, the new hairpiece is a neat mold, doesn't resemble Jay the best. I miss the eyebrow notch, that tiny thing strangely added to his character. And lastly, the horror. Zane's humor in the movie is haha, he's a robot that pretends to be a human. He has over-exaggerated expressions, including this thing. Yikes. In lines like Legacy, he still used this creepy-ass face. I don't like it. The trailer itself was fine. A ton of scenes were removed before the final film. I guess to prevent spoilers. It's interesting that they care with the fucking Lego Ninjago movie.
Throughout the next few months, merchandise and promotions went crazy. There were over 20 sets released to promote the movie, along with a minifigure series and a game. Those all warrant their own discussion one day, but for now, let's just take a look at the Lego Ninjago movie.
The movie starts in a live-action segment where a kid wanders into a relic shop. He starts messing with stuff until he accidentally launches some cups that the shop owner, played by Jackie Chan, catches. The shop owner wants the kid to leave, but the kid has no friends and has a casual movie Lloyd in garbage condition. So the shop owner does a whole spiel on how people are different on the inside, which is a good message but feels pointless to do here because it's done later. This shop owner then takes out a wooden Woo minifigure, which is awesome. This is possibly the rarest minifigure of all time. Only 4 were produced, and the whereabouts of them are largely unknown. The shop owner tells the kid a story, and that's the main part of the movie. The Ninjago stuff is a story being told to the kid, which I find incredibly stupid. This live action segment is just meant to give context to the bulk of the film, but to me, it just makes things more confusing. He refers to the story as the legend behind the legend, makes it seem like it will be an ancient tale. Nothing screams ancient like giant mechs. But after that lame live action segment, the main event begins. We start with the news section with Michael Strahan. A funny joke comes up. Garmadon attacks Ninjago often, so there's a Garmadon attack forecast. Then they introduce all the ninja. I wonder if they do this daily. It's pretty cringy, and they act like it's such a mystery of who the Green Ninja is.
It couldn't be the one guy in Ninjago with green eyes, could it?
Lloyd wakes up to a call. His ringtone is The Weekend Whip, which is an awesome reference. Garmadon butt-dialed Lloyd. I find this scene funny. Just the dialogue really gives Garmadon good characterization and introduces the dynamic between Lloyd and Garmadon in the movie. In the show, Lloyd first admired his father and sought to be like him. Here, Garmadon left Lloyd when he was young, and Lloyd grew up being shunned for being Garmadon's son. Lloyd has no respect for his dad, to the point where he's his greatest enemy. Today is Lloyd's birthday, so he thinks that's why Garmadon called him, but Garmadon puts it best.
Look, I didn't call you. My butt called you.
Lloyd goes to school, so we see how everyone avoids him, except for Zane. Zane is a good first joke, but besides that, he's just robot funny. Ahaha. This intro scene for the ninja perfectly encapsulates my problem with the other ninja. Cole is just standing there. Jay has one line of dialogue. Nia likes bikes. This will totally be elaborated on. Lloyd is bullied by some cheerleaders, including the male one, Chen. I'm sure he's straight and has no feelings for Lloyd at all. Garmadon attacks the city, and the ninja all leave as I question how their classmates never put 2 and 2 together. Their lockers lead straight to their base, which I just won't question anymore. And as the ninja get into their vehicles, we see their personality. Kai is chill, Jay is timid, Zane is a robot, Cole likes music, Nia is a girl, and Lloyd is the main character. Nothing but shallow husks of the show variants. They head off, and I just have to say, I love their mechs. They're really interesting builds. Cole moves on a wheel, Jane's is a giant tank, Nia is a robotic water strider mech, and Lloyd's is a giant dragon. One weird thing is that they're all referenced to as mechs. Like Cole and Kai's, no doubt, but the water strider mech, I guess, but Zane's take, James Blade, and Lloyd Dragon? No. So anyways, the ninja go out to fight Garmadon. The way Ninjago works is if Garmadon can make it to the top of the tower, he becomes the Ninjago's ruler. It's funny, I guess. It's such a sad contrast to see how people hate Lloyd but idolize and love the Green Ninja. After a while, Lloyd faces down Garmadon. We get a couple of good jokes. This bit where Lloyd tries to get Garmadon to say he remembers Lloyd's birthday is funny at first. He starts talking about something that he lost 16 years prior, but it turns out to not be Lloyd. It's funny the first time, but he does it a few more times, and as we know, the more times the joke is repeated, the less funny funny it is. Eventually, Garmadon talks about Lloyd, but he basically insults babies as a whole, which enrages Lloyd, who sends a ton of missiles on him. Afterwards, when Lloyd and Garmadon are speaking, Garmadon throws a bomb at Lloyd, at which he was unable to catch and throw because he never had a dad. Good joke, as Garmadon says he knows how to do all those things. Scene ends with Garmadon leaving and promising that tomorrow, he'll return with something bigger. We then get a look at some of the beautiful nature in Garmadon's volcano base, and we get a funny meeting scene where Garmadon brainstorms what they can do. Important for later, Garmadon fires people quite often, and by fire, I mean he fires them out of a volcano.
Don't forget this.
Meanwhile, the ninja return to base where we get some dialogue between them and do a good job establishing their relationship as a team. Wu returns and tells them about their elemental powers. All of them have the same powers as the show, except for Lloyd, whose power is green. We get some cute references to the show as Lloyd lists some possible elements he could have besides green, but he's stuck with green. Lloyd and Wu speak on the bounty where Wu tells Lloyd about the ultimate weapon with just random clips that are so funny. The ultimate weapon is a laser pointer, which just confuses me. In the Lego Movie, there are real life objects in the film because the movie was in the imagination of a kid. He imagined the real world objects contextualized for the Lego characters. It's weird here since the Ninjago stuff is contextualized as a story, a legend being told by the shop owner. So I just don't understand why there are real life items in the story. Lloyd heads home and ignores Coco, which is pretty sad, and the next day, Garmadon attacks again. La-dee-da. This time, though, he has a huge-ass mech and isn't messing around. He conquers the city, and in an act of desperation, Lloyd steals the ultimate weapon. Lloyd uses the ultimate weapon on Garmadon, and surprise, surprise, it doesn't do anything. At least against Garmadon, because it's a laser pointer and funny cat videos! The ultimate weapon unleashes Meowthra, a giant cat. With Meowthra unleashed, Garmadon takes the ultimate weapon and uses it to destroy the ninja's vehicles. Lloyd then reveals his identity and dips out. Later, while Garmadon is having a victory party, Coco shows up asking about Lloyd, and she isn't taking squat from Garmadon. Garmadon tells her that Lloyd is the Green Ninja, and meanwhile, Lloyd reunites with a team who's mad at him for unleashing Meowthra. They think Wu died, but it turns out he's alive! Wu tells them that Meowthra won't stop until Ninjago is her litter box.
Is Meowthra gonna shit on the Legos?
Wu tells the ninja the only way to stop Meowthra is the ultimate weapon. Cue random clips montage, as I said earlier, even funnier the second time! Wu plans on going to get it alone, but the other ninja insists on going, to which Wu hesitantly agrees. And also, Garmadon finds out where they're going, so he follows. Montage as they travel, and eventually Wu can tell Garmadon is following them. He tells the others to hide, and he and Garmadon go face to face. Awesome western-looking stuff, and they fight in a brilliant scene. The animation is wonderful. The motion blur of the minifigures is made up of actual pieces, which is such a cool effect and definitely influenced me and many others. Garmadon unleashes 7 deadly butterflies, and the fight escalates onto a bridge. Wu ultimately wins, trapping Garmadon in a cage, but then, remember the butterflies? Turns out there was another one, and that shocks Wu and he falls off the bridge in his supposed death scene. He tells the ninja to find their inner peace, but now they have nobody except for Garmadon, who the others take along since they don't trust Lloyd. We get some good jokes from Garmadon, and Garmadon says that he was bitten by a snake and that he's 158 years old.
Isn't that pedophilia? I don't think Coco is 158 years old either.
As they continue, they're eventually surrounded by mysterious figures who turn out to be Garmadon's employees. Or more so, ex-employees.
I told you to remember this!
It's who Garmadon fired and they captured Lloyd and Garmadon. These guys look awesome, all charred and everything. They take them to kill them, and meanwhile the others watch a montage of kung fu movies to learn it and save Lloyd and Garmadon. I love this scene as to show some of the team's character growth. They're working together and fighting without their mechs. We then get this awesome sweet scene where as the ninja build an escape vehicle, Garmadon teaches Lloyd how to throw. Lloyd gets the hang of it, but is then attacked by one of the fire generals and loses his arm. A few good jokes later, Garmadon puts it back on.
Oh, putting your son's arm back on. A really common thing for dads to do.
And the team lifts up. I love the development between Lloyd and Garmadon here. It's super sweet. They arrive at the ultimate weapons resting place, which turns out to be Wu and Garmadon's childhood home. Turns out Garmadon is the last name, meaning Wu is Wu Garmadon and Garmadon is Garmadon.
Real Mario type family, eh?
Inside, look at some old pictures, one of them of Garmadon and Lady Iron Dragon, also known as Coco. Flashback scene with some skeletons and snakes that were in the realistic nature test clip. Garmadon met Coco during a battle and they fell in love. They had Lloyd, but Coco wanted to move to Ninjago City as she didn't want Lloyd to be a warlord. So Coco left Garmadon to raise Lloyd in Ninjago as Garmadon stayed, shedding a tear of fire. Garmadon imagines how things could be if he changed, which is just so gut-wrenching. The others find the ultimate weapon, which is their elements. As they're introduced, the pieces go beyond the letterboxing, which is odd, but now they can use their powers! And Lloyd's piece, as he's the master of green,
Oh, Lloyd is the master of cannabis.
As they leave, Garmadon requests that Lloyd joins him.
Aw, that's sweet.
In conquering Ninjago...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Garmadon is still evil. He loves Lloyd, but instead wants Lloyd to be evil with them. Of course, Lloyd doesn't want this, so they fight. I love how they work together to keep the ultimate weapon away from Garmadon, but their flounder comes when the ultimate weapon is thrown to Lloyd, as Lloyd never learned how to catch. Garmadon locks them in, and the temple starts to collapse in this, and the ninja are down, but then Lloyd realizes what Wu meant by find your inner peace. The ultimate weapon's power lies within the ninja, and with that, the ninja learn how to use their powers as they use them to escape. This is a great moment for Lloyd as he truly becomes the leader of the team. They narrowly survive, but are ultimately saved by the bounty because Wu actually survived. Garmadon arrives back in the city and tries to use the ultimate weapon to stop Meowthra, but it doesn't work. The ninja arrive back into the city where they use their powers and work together, and it's a fantastic scene to show the characters' progressions. They make their way towards Garmadon, who had no luck with Meowthra, and Meowthra eats him. Everyone celebrates since Meowthra ate the big bad, but Lloyd knows he isn't truly evil. So Lloyd calms down Meowthra and talks to Garmadon, which makes him shed a tear, causing Meowthra to regurgitate him. We get a final good joke, and we're back to the live action scene with a really stupid ending.
And that is the Lego Ninjago movie. It's okay. It does a good job demonstrating that Ninjago is much better as a show. Ninjago is about a team of ninja and how we see that team develop. But also over that time, we see each ninja grow and develop on their own. We spend so much time with each character that there's so much to them. They're much more than just soulless husks defined by one single personality trait. There's something to like about all of them. As I mentioned before, this movie is just about Lloyd. Lloyd gets great development, but the others, their development... What development? And the live action stuff is dumb, stupid, and dumb. But overall, it's a fine movie. It has a lot of heart and amazing animation, lighting, action, and nature. And they turned Cole into nothing. That's exactly what 8-year-old me wanted from the Lego Ninjago movie.